Hi everybody. We're going to spend just a couple minutes talking about our final draft that we're submitting this week. Can you believe that we're already here? We're already submitting that final draft. So cool. I told you guys it was going to go quickly and it came together so fast, and you guys are doing amazing. Hang in there. You're almost done. It's going to be stellar. Let's take a couple looks. Let's take a look at a couple of things that are in our MindEdge module this week to help support the success with that final paper. The first thing that we're going to look at is an ungraded checklist. And I know it's ungraded, but I do encourage you guys to go through it because it's really going to help us be sure that we have everything that we need in that final paper. Alright, this is activity 7.3, the assignment 2 preparation checklist. And what we're doing is we're just kind of going to go through and check, yeah, totally got that, yeah, totally got that, this paper is solid. First thing we want to do is take a look at our introduction and ask yourself, do you have a clear overview of the issues that you are writing about? And you can click, yes, I do. And it goes away. Pretty cool, huh? Do you introduce the main points of the issue? Yes, awesome, bam, got that done. Do you have an identifiable thesis statement that states your argument? And is it clear what direction for your essay that you're going in? Do you have a clear point? So you want to assess that you have all of these pieces, and if you do, you have an awesome, stellar introduction. And then we kind of want to go through and do the same thing for our body. Ask yourselves, there's my fan, these questions about the body of your paper, the body paragraphs of your paper. If I could speak, it'd be easier for you guys to learn, right? Alright, so read through your paper again. We already looked at our introduction, it's stellar. Now let's look at our body paragraphs. First key, big important one, do you have more than one body paragraph? Is it clear what each paragraph is doing? Do you have clear topic sentences? Do each of your paragraphs provide supportive evidence for your claim with credible sources? So you make your key point, are you also using evidence to support it? Do your paragraphs transition from one to the next? Do you have a nice flow? We always have that flow question, right? Do they clearly connect back to that thesis statement? Remember, that thesis statement is the top of the string that goes all the way through our paper. Do each of your paragraphs connect back to your thesis statement? Are they doing what they're supposed to do to support our argument? Do all of your sources have a proper in-text citation? Now remember, whether or not we're writing an MLA or APA, we have to have parenthetical citations after every piece of evidence that we use. So double check and make sure that they are the proper citations for the doc style that you are using. Do you include an opposing viewpoint? Do you look at that counter argument at all? Do you have a paragraph for that? And in that paragraph for your counter argument, do you refute? Do you disagree? Do you restate how awesome your argument is? So do you have that opposing viewpoint, and do you refute it? Awesome, you have it all. You can make all those go away and you're good to go. And then we want to take a look at our conclusion as well. So we've looked at our introduction, it's super. We've looked at our body paragraphs, they're great. Let's take a look at that conclusion. Do you review your argument? Cool. Do you have a summary of the main points that you discussed in your body paragraph? Awesome. Do you discuss some new insights about the claims that you have made, and do they logically follow from your argument? In other words, are you actually concluding something from your argument? And is it clear what it is? So do you have a solid conclusion? Awesome. You do, it's going to be great. Then we want to take a look at our research materials and formatting. If you're writing an APA, do you have that cover page? Cool. If you are writing an MLA, you don't need a cover page. Cool. And do you have a citation page? Now remember, in MLA, this is called a works cited page. And if you are writing an APA, it's called a reference page. So do you have all of the extras that your documentation style is requiring? And then again, we want to look at our good friend, the articulation of response. Have you checked one last time for citation errors, grammar issues, spelling, that kind of stuff? Now remember that I am always happy to review your paper before it's due, any paper at all. Just be sure to get it to me and with plenty of time, say like a Thursday or Friday before it's actually due, so that I have time to review it and get it back to you, and you have time to make those necessary changes. So I encourage all of you guys to take a look at this checklist and make sure that that paper is as stellar as it can be. Now the next thing that we're going to look at really quickly is our good old rubric. Okay, and we're going to look at the one that's in MindEdge because it's, you know, prettier than the PDF one. Now, with most of our previous assignments, we had that Mind Edge prompt question where you fill in an answer. We don't have this for our persuasive essay because we've already written our persuasive essay with that draft, and we've spent a week or so revising it, and now we're ready to submit it, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. All right, so let's take a look at our rubric for the grading that will be going on for our 7-4 Assignment 2 submission, our persuasive essay. All right, we've got our typical proficiency levels. We have exemplary. Are you doing super duper awesome? You totally are. Proficient, needs improvement, and then maybe not evident if we did not include something that was necessary. And then we have our critical elements, and they're going to be very similar to what the draft was. Do you have an overview for your introduction? Do you provide an overview of the issue being analyzed and briefly describe your main points? Do you essentially introduce your topic? And then another part of that introduction is your thesis. Do you have a clear thesis statement? And is that cool, awesome introduction about a paragraph long is what we're looking for there. And then we're going to take a look at our body paragraphs. Do you write multiple paragraphs that are focused, clearly state their intent, and build their thesis statement? We want to look at our body paragraphs too. Do they communicate the argument by combining thoughts and ideas with evidence? And to hit that sort of exemplary, do you have a clear, masterful combination of evidence and your own ideas? Does that all smooth together nicely? Do you fully integrate each one of your quotations into your own ideas? The next thing that we're going to look at is that opposing viewpoints, or that counter argument. Do you address and refute an opposing viewpoint or counter argument in a way that strengthens your own? Do you acknowledge that there's another side to this argument, but still you're saying that your point is the right point, it's the better argument? Then we're going to move on to our conclusion. Do you provide a nice, clear, strong, contextualized review of what we just talked about without copy and pasting? Remember, we don't want to plagiarize our own work. We don't want to self-plagiarize. So make sure that you are rephrasing, you're paraphrasing your previous ideas. And do you also articulate or include or discuss some insights that you have gained throughout this process? And then again, we have our articulation of response. Are you free of grammar errors? Are your citations correct? Is your paper well organized? All that good stuff. Now remember, when you are all set to submit this, we want to actually go into Brightspace and submit it in our assignments. And remember, to do that, you just click Course Menu and go down to Assignments, and then you'll be able to submit your assignment there. Alright, I know it's kind of a big deal, guys, but you totally got this. This is the big one. You've been working all semester, all term to get to this point. You've got it. It's going to be amazing. Just submit it and let me assess it. Don't worry about it anymore. Remember, if you have any questions at all, you can email me, text me, we can talk on the phone if that's going to make you more comfortable. You can also post questions on the general discussion forum, because if you have a question, it's likely one of your peers has the same question, and we can all just sort of talk about it together. Hang in there, guys. You got this. It's amazing. You're doing wonderful.